Did you know that the heaviest sumo wrestlers can weigh up to 300 kilograms? What do they need to eat and in what quantities to reach such a weight? What are the rules during the fight and many other interesting information we will discuss today, everything related to sumo. Sumo is a form of competitive full-contact wrestling where a rikishi, wrestler, attempts to force his opponent out of a circular ring, dohyo, or into touching the ground with any body part other than the soles of his feet, usually by throwing, shoving or pushing him down. Sumo originated in Japan, the only country where it is practiced professionally and where it is considered the national sport. It is considered a Gendai Budo, which refers to modern Japanese martial arts, but the sport has a history spanning many centuries. Many ancient traditions have been preserved in sumo, and even today the sport includes many ritual elements, such as the use of salt purification, from Shinto. Life as a wrestler is highly regimented, with rules regulated by the Japan Sumo Association. Most sumo wrestlers are required to live in communal sumo training stables, known in Japanese as heia, where all aspects of their daily lives, from meals to their manner of dress, are dictated by strict tradition. From 2008 to 2016, a number of high-profile controversies and scandals rocked the sumo world, with an associated effect on its reputation and ticket sales. These have also affected the sport's ability to attract recruits. Despite this setback, sumo's popularity and general attendance has rebounded due to having multiple yokozuna, or grand champions, for the first time in a number of years and other high-profile wrestlers grabbing the public's attention. The elementary principle of sumo is that a match is decided by a fighter first either touching the ground outside the circular dohyo ring with any part of the body, or touching the ground inside the ring with any part of the body other than the soles of the feet. The wrestlers try to achieve this by pushing, tossing, striking and often by outwitting the opponent. The Japan Sumo Association currently distinguishes 82 kimurite, winning techniques, some of which come from judo. Illegal moves are called kinjite, which include strangulation, hair pulling, bending fingers, gripping the crotch area, kicking, poking eyes, punching and simultaneously striking both the opponent's ears. The most common basic forms are grabbing the opponent by the mawashi, belt, and then forcing him out, a style called yatsuzumo, or pushing the opponent out of the ring without a firm grip, a style called oshizumo. The maximum length of a match varies depending on the division. In the top division, the limit is 4 minutes, although matches usually only last a few seconds. If the match has not yet ended after the allotted time has elapsed, a mizu-iri, water break, is taken, after which the wrestlers continue the fight from their previous positions. If a winner is still not found after another 4 minutes, the fight restarts from the tachi-ai after another mizu-iri. If this still does not result in a decision, the outcome is considered a hikawake, draw. This is an extremely rare result, with the last such draw being called in September 1974. Traditionally, sumo wrestlers are renowned for their great girth and body mass, which is often a winning factor in sumo. No weight divisions are used in professional sumo. A wrestler can sometimes face an opponent twice his own weight. However, with superior technique, smaller wrestlers can control and defeat much larger opponents. The average weight of top division wrestlers has continued to increase, from 125 kilograms in 1969 to over 150 kilograms by 1991, and was a record 166 kilograms as of January 2019. Professional sumo is organized by the Japan Sumo Association. The members of the association, called oyakata, are all former wrestlers, and are the only people entitled to train new wrestlers. All professional wrestlers must be a member of a training stable, or heia, run by one of the oyakata, who is the stablemaster for the wrestlers under him. In 2007, 43 training stables hosted 660 wrestlers. To turn professional, wrestlers must have completed at least 9 years of compulsory education and meet minimum height and weight requirements. In 1994, the Japanese Sumo Association required that all sumo wrestlers be a minimum 173 centimeters in height. This prompted 16-year-old Takeji Harada of Japan, who had failed 6 previous eligibility tests, to have 4 separate cosmetic surgeries over a period of 12 months to add an extra 15 centimeters of silicone to his scalp, which created a large, protruding bulge on his head. In response to this, the JSA stated that they would no longer accept aspiring wrestlers who surgically enhanced their height, citing health concerns. In 2019, the Japan Times reported that the height requirement was 167 centimeters, and the weight requirement was 67 kilograms, although they also claimed that a blind eye is turned for those just shy of the minimums. All sumo wrestlers take wrestling names called shikona, which may or may not be related to their real names. Often, wrestlers have little choice in their names, which are given to them by their stable masters, or by a supporter or family member who encourage them into the sport. This is particularly true of foreign-born wrestlers. A wrestler may change his wrestling name during his career, with some changing theirs several times. Professional sumo wrestling has a strict hierarchy based on sporting merit. The wrestlers are ranked according to a system that dates back to the Edo period. They are promoted or demoted according to their performance in 6 official tournaments held throughout the year, which are called Hanbasho. A carefully prepared banzuke listing the full hierarchy is published 2 weeks prior to each sumo tournament. In addition to the professional tournaments, exhibition competitions are held at regular intervals every year in Japan, and roughly once every 2 years, the top-ranked wrestlers visit a foreign country for such exhibitions. None of these displays are taken into account in determining a wrestler's future rank. Rank is determined only by performance in Grand Sumo tournaments. A typical sumo wrestler eats a daily diet of 20,000 calories, which is pretty astounding when you consider that the recommended daily intake for a healthy, active male is 2,500. They eat 10 times what a normal male eats, and all of it's done in 2 massive 10,000-calorie meals. The sumo's diet is an expression of my favorite Japanese cultural trait, never doing things halfway. The main dish that sumo wrestlers eat is a stew called chankanabe. It sounds a little like chunk nabe, which is somehow oddly appropriate. This is a stew filled with fish, vegetables, meat and tofu. Nabe is a traditional Japanese stew, but chankanabe is the supersized version, stuffed full of extra everything for the sole purpose of providing calories. To complement their mighty meal, sumo wrestlers eat around 5 to 10 bowls of rice and copious amounts of beer, required for empty calories. A healthy rikishi may down as many as 6 pints during the midday meal. After lunch, there's one more essential bit of training, the nap. How could you not pass out after a meal like that? Sumo wrestlers take a siesta for as long as 4 hours after lunch, in order to slow down their metabolism and add everything they just ate to their girth. Some people think sumo wrestlers are out of shape and unhealthy, but in fact, most elite sumo wrestlers have immense power, speed, balance, and flexibility, from hours of daily training. In fact, Muscleman Byamba, 4-time world champion, keeps healthy. At 350 pounds, his body fat was only 11%. Aurora Satoshi, born April 26, 1983 as Anatoly Valerievich Mihahanov, is a former sumo wrestler. His highest rank was Makushita 43. In 2017, he became the heaviest professional sumo wrestler ever by reaching the weight of 288 kilograms, surpassing the record previously held by Kanishiki. He subsequently reached a peak weight of 292.6 kilograms. He decided to retire from sumo in September 2018.